Now this weekend marks the unofficial start to summer, and for Arkansas Game and Fish, it's the unofficial start to boating season, one that keeps game wardens busy. In today's Outdoor Report, we get some last-minute tips to keep you safe and out of trouble.
Welcome back outside to the Weather Garden for another edition of the Outdoor Report. Trey, it's Memorial Day weekend, the unofficial start to summer. A lot of folks out on the waterways, and you've got some good advice for us.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kickoff to boating season in Arkansas, and it's always a good time to talk about, you know, some reminders. I don't want to sound preachy or anything like that, but yeah, it's going to be crowded out there this weekend, and the weather is just phenomenal. It's been a great week this weekend. Low humidity again, awesome temperatures. I mean, 50s at night. I mean, the last weekend of May
in Memorial,
and so that means that a lot of people are going to be out on the lake. Sure. And the number one cause of boating accidents in Arkansas is just not paying attention. Not having a proper lookout, and whether that's an obstruction in the water, like, you know, something underwater, a shallow spot, you know, a hump in the lake that comes up and you don't notice it, or other boats. That's the number one cause of accidents. You know, the other thing, we all like to go out and have a good time on the water, and that's certainly fine, but if you're going to be drinking, let somebody else drive the boat. Sure. A reminder that the penalties for boating under the influence are exactly the same as driving under the influence. You can still lose your driver's license if you're convicted of boating under the influence, as well as the fines and all the other potential things like spending the night in jail and things like that. So, you know, keep that in mind. Sure. You know, also, wear your life jacket. I mean, if there is an accident, something that's not your fault, if you're wearing that life jacket, it greatly increases your chances of survival.
And the rule is one life jacket per passenger on the boat.
Per passenger on the boat. You know, most people leave them under the seat. Of course, kids under a certain age have to wear life jackets if the boat's underway. But it's really a good idea for everybody to wear them. And man, there are some life jackets. You know, I used to be the same way. And but as an employee of Arkansas Game and Fish, when I'm on the water, I have to have a life jacket. Even when I'm out there fishing. Man, there are these little like waist belts with inflatables that are tucked in there. There's the suspender types. They are so comfortable. You'll forget you're wearing them. Many times over the years, I've had those on. I get back to the boat ramp, I put the boat on the trailer, and a couple minutes later I realize I'm driving down the highway and I still got my life jacket on. They're that comfortable, you'll forget you're wearing them.
Now, do those rules and regs also apply to kayaks and canoes if you're going to be out in the water?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, you need to, you know, a lot of kayakers and canoers don't wear the life jacket, and it's not a law, you don't have to, but it's a good idea.
It's got to be in the actual vessel.
It does have to be in the vessel. If you're, another rules that apply to canoeing and kayaking: no glass containers. You have to have any kind of beverage, like in a can or a plastic bottle or whatever. Has to have a koozie on it so it'll float if you tump over. Sure. And carry a litter bag. And most of the outfitters that are going to be renting canoes and kayaks are going to have all that stuff. That's right. Folks that have their own boats largely know that already. Right. But yeah, take care of our natural state while you're out there.
Good tips. I assume you're going to have some enforcement officers out on the water we may encounter.
Absolutely. Our enforcement staff is one of the busiest boating weekends of the year. We'll be out there along with, county water patrols on some of the, like up in Benton County where Beaver Lake is, Garland County where Lake Hamilton is, parts of Lake Washita, Montgomery, and Garland County. Those places where you have those big busy lakes, there will be a lot of water patrol out there. And look, hey, they want you to have a good time too. They just want you to do it safely.
So second most popular weekend to be out on the Arkansas waterways next to Memorial Day, free fishing weekend. That's coming up. Not this weekend, but coming up.
June 9th through 11th. So we're 2 weeks away. I wanted to give folks a little reminder about that. We got the official proclamation from Governor Sanders at our commission meeting last week. And so it's all official now. We do this every year, but the governor does have to sign a proclamation allowing us to do that from midday, from noon on Friday, June 9th until midnight on Sunday, June 11th. No fishing license required, no trout permit required if you're on trout waters in Arkansas. Applies to residents, non-residents. If you got family, friends coming in from out of town, you want to take them fishing, great weekend to do it.
Great weekend to do it. And if you want to continue, maybe you're just going to dip your toe in the water, Fishing lessons in Arkansas still $10.50?
$10.50, man.
$10.50.
And also, we're having a bunch of fishing derbies at all of our hatcheries, game and fish hatcheries, and there's other different entities will be hosting various derbies and events around Free Fishing Weekend. So you can go to agfc.com and find out where all of our derbies are, as well as some of those other events.
Awesome, Trey. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys back out here for another edition of the Outdoor Report coming up next Saturday.